Continuing with the book of Isaiah. And like I said, it's a big book, one of the larger books that we've gone through. I think it's the largest book we've gone through so far. And it broke up into two places, again, like I discussed, just like the Old Testament and the New. We've got a lot of good things being said from 40 on. Comfort you, my people, your transgressions are over. It's all about what God wants to do now with Zion, what he wants to do with Jerusalem, with Israel, to be a light to the nations, to be a light to the people, in holding the others accountable, but also with the joy that people want to come to their God. There's something about men that want to go to their Creator. And so we see this in 40, in 41, we're at 46 now. It says, Baal bowed and Nebo stooped. Their idols are upon their beast and upon the cattle. Their carriages are filled and laden. They're getting rid of them. These guys have stooped and bowed. These gods are not gods. They are just pieces of stone, pieces of mineral, pieces of wood. They're nothing great. When he mentions in here several times, going back and reflect on old, looking back at what's been done and said and what the history is, he is a God who's touched with history. He's the God that got involved. He's the God who spoke. And so he's got all this history. Look at your history. These gods have no history. Hearken to me, O house of Judah, and all the remnant of the house of Israel. And again, like he said, if you use Judah and Israel differently, Judah was the name before, Israel was the name of after. Jacob is a deceiver. Israel means Prince of God. So we see this. I like what he says here. That carried you from the womb, and even to your old age, I am he, and even to hoar hairs will I carry you, and I have made, and I will bear, and I will carry you. To your hoary hairs is the gray hair. That's what they called hoary hairs. It was like the frost. You know, this hair. Even with this hair, even with the gray hair, I'll take care of you, and I'll carry you. To whom will you liken me and make me equal and compare me that you may be like? There's nothing down here. That's why he doesn't want any imagery. He doesn't want us to have images and symbols like that. He creates his own. We have the cross as a symbol, that'll be fine, and some people have the fish. But here he's like God, nothing compares to him. Here they make these gods, they bear them on their shoulders, they carry them and set them in place. They can't move, and then they cry unto them to help them with their trouble. Remember this and show yourselves, mentioning again to mind, O you transgressor, remember the former things of old, that I am God and there's none else. There he's talking about, I touched history, your history. I got involved with you. Declaring things from the beginning, and the ancient things that are not as yet done, my counsel will stand. He calls a ravenous bird from the east, the man that executes counsel from a far country. I have spoken it. I bring near my righteousness, and it shall not be far off. He's not separating them from his righteousness, his rightness of being, his rightness of doing things. Come down and sit in dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. 47 is an interesting chapter. I'm going to say 47 is a parallel with Babylon, but also it can be considered a parallel with the United States as of today. When you read it on your own, see if you can't see the parallel of the way the Babylonians lived their lives, their cultures, their practices, their economics, their view of ethnicities and other things. It's going to be very similar, and it's going to meet the same fate. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. I mean, he's calling for humility. But there's also a sense of haughtiness here, and he's going to break that haughtiness down. Take the millstone and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, bare thy leg, uncover thy thigh, pass through the rivers. All these things that servants do, they carry through rivers. They walk around the millstone. They'll, show some of their bare legs as they pull up their skirts to walk around in a circle, leading an ox or something. Just continually, nothing but in a circle to grind mill. That's what these do. And you were the lofty, beautiful girl of Babylon. Now you're down grinding in the mill. Your nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, and you'll see shame. I will have vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. He's going to meet them as a god. This is something nations need to be afraid of. He's not going to meet them as a man. He's going to meet you as a god. He met you as a man the first time. The second time, he's going to meet you as a god. I have wrought with my people, and I have polluted mine inheritance, and have given them unto thine hand, but thou didn't show them any mercy. Interesting. Yes, I'm going against this people, but you should have had mercy upon them. Wow, look how their God is turning on them. We're going to show mercy. That's the problem he had with Edom with Amnon, with Esau, with Egypt, with the Philistines, is that when they saw God turning on his own people, they should have shown mercy to these people, but they just jumped into the fray. It wasn't their fight. It wasn't what they were supposed to do. And he holds them accountable. For thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou did not lay these things to heart, neither did you remember the latter end. Therefore hear this now, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwelled carelessly, that sayest in your heart, I am, and none beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither will I know the loss of children, this haughtiness. But two things come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. You're going to be a widow, and you're going to lose your children. This is going to happen in a day. They shall come upon thee in their perfections for the multitude of your sorceries and for the abundance of your enchantments. They were high in the sorcery and enchantments. For thou trusted in thy wickedness. Thou said, none see me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge has perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and there's none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it came, and the mischief will fall upon you, and you won't be able to see it or put it off. And desolation will come upon you suddenly, and you shall not know it. Now, interesting thing is also, from a historical note, when the Medo-Persians conquered Babylon, they did so with stealth. They didn't attack it, as you would see. They came in through the rivers. They took the rivers down so they could walk in under the bridges, through the canals. And they came in, they took over the city. Many people said there were some places of the city didn't know they had fallen for 3 whole days. That's how stealthy the Medo-Persians were coming in. It wasn't a battle. They just came in and took over the area. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries therein thou hast labored from thy youth. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers and the stargazers and the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee. Let these people that you've gone to come and save you. And they won't. For thou shalt be a stubble, the fire shall burn them, and they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. Thus shall come upon thee, of whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his own quarter, none can save you. Your merchants, your economics, your connections, your business connections, your political connections, none of these will save you. Hear you this, O house of Jacob, which is called by the name of Israel. Once again, doing the Jacob and Israel thing, which is really cool. Thou hast come, that have come forth out of the waters of Judah, which swear by the name of the Lord, shall make mention of the name of Israel, but not in truth nor in righteousness. This is one of those little correction moments that's going on. You mention his name and you worship him, but not in righteousness, not in rightness. You're not speaking well of him. You know, you're not in truth. They call themselves a holy city and stay themselves upon the God of Israel. I have declared the former things from the beginning that went forth out of my mouth and showed them. It suddenly came to pass. Because I know that you're obstinate and your neck is of iron. I have even from the beginning declared it to thee before it came to pass to show you what shouldest, that lest thou say, mine idol has done this, and mine graven image, my molten image has commanded them. See, he tells them things beforehand that's going to happen, so they will not attribute it to their images and their gods. See, my God has protected me. See, my God did this. See, my God did that. No, he's telling them things beforehand. Now remember, this was also written at the time of Hezekiah. This is written before the fall into Babylon. So predicting Babylon's fall, predicting that God will raise up Israel one day, which he's still in the process of raising up. What happened there about the raising up of Israel, a lot of this is still future tense for us even. That he is still bringing the Jews in. He's still setting up that land. He's still moving geopolitically to set up the end time scenario so that Israel will call out to their God. Then will happen that the God will be gracious and bring in. So we see a lot of this is still future tense. But he tells them, you have a hard heart. And I'm telling you things so that you won't attribute it to your idols. Thou hast heard, seen all these things, and will not declare it. I have shown thee new things from this time, even hidden things, and thou didst know. They were created now, but not from the beginning, even before the day when thou heardst them. Thou shouldest say, Behold, I knew them. I'm telling you new things that are going on. I'm telling you what's going on in the future. I'm telling you how things are going right now. Stuff you didn't know. That's what prophecy is many times, here especially, is telling them things that they didn't know. Lest thou heard it not, and you knowest it not, and you'll walk after, and you'll be in transgression. But for my name's sake, I will defer mine anger, and for my praise, I will refrain from thee, and I won't cut you off. He's going to completely, they didn't get the full wrath. They just got some wrath. The full wrath is going to come. But they didn't get the full things. For my praise, I will refrain from me, that I cut thee not off. He could have wiped them like a plate, and wanted to. He used that idiom. But he didn't wipe them completely. He held on to a remnant. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver, and I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. I'm going to give you affliction that's going to cause growth. For mine own sake, even for mine own sake will I do it. And how should my name be polluted? And I will not give my glory to another. He won't share it with another God or another person. Hearken unto me, O Jacob and Israel, my called. I am he, I am the first, and also the last. Mine hands have laid the foundation of the earth, and my right hand has spanned the heavens. All ye assemble yourselves and hear, among whom has declared these things. The Lord has loved him. He will do his pleasure on Babylon, and his arm shall be on the Chaldeans. He loves Israel, and he's going to put his arm. He's going to put his hand. He's going to use his hand. Remember, he's talked about using his hand against people. Against Israel for a while, he put his hand against them. Here he's going to do this to the Babylonians, to the Chaldeans. I have spoken this, and I have called it. I have brought him, and he shall make his way prosperous. Come to me now, and hear ye. I have not spoken in secret from the beginnings, from time that it was that I am, and now the Lord God and his Spirit has sent me. Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I am the Lord their God, which teacheth thee to profit. Sometimes the THs get to me. Teacheth thee to profit. Following him would lead to profit. It would lead to, again, the calves are doing well. The sheep and the oxen are all growing. You're having multiple numbers. The weather is going well. You're having very fruitful vines and fruitful trees. You're living at peace. You have a good economy. You're living with one another in solidarity. You're worshiping and with joy. All these things are profit. Profit's not just in having dollar bills or enough money to do something, but profiting in the sense that all of you are profiting. Oh, that thou would hearken unto me and my commandments. Then shall thy peace, even as a river of righteousness, flow as waves of the sea. Listen to the imagery there. That peace would be as a river, righteousness would be as waves of the sea. They just keep coming in. Just keep coming in. Just keeps coming in. Thy seed also will be as the sand, and the offspring of thy bowels, like the gravel thereof. His name should not be cut off nor destroyed. Go forth of Babylon. Flee ye from the Chaldeans. With the voice of singing, declare ye, tell this. Utter it to the end of the earth, saying, the Lord has redeemed his servant Jacob. Even though they haven't even gone into Babylon yet. They're going to come out. They're going to come out with joy. They thirsted not when he led them through the deserts. He caused the waters to come forth out of the rocks for them. He clave the rocks, and the water dressed out. There is no peace, saith the Lord, unto the wicked. The wicked will not have peace. But here, the people of God will have peace. So it sounds like there's some chastisement in here, but remember, he's talking to the Israelites that are in bondage to sin, in bondage to their sorceries and their idolatry and their adulteries and their witchcraft. And yet he's telling them good things about their future. And he even kind of gives them a timeline, in a sense, of the Babylonians, and then of coming out of Babylon and being established. He's trying to really encourage them and get them to stand for him. And maybe some of these words also helped some of those remnant to be able to stand firm. God's showing the end from the beginning. He's showing what's going to happen to them so that they might be encouraged. It's sad that so many had to die and so many chose not to listen to Isaiah. But Isaiah is saying wonderful things to Israel. And he also says wonderful things to us. He's going to bring Israel back. There's going to be joy, and the nations are going to go to Israel one day, to the Mount of God, to Zion, because there is their God also. The one God, the true God, Yahweh Elohim, who is Jesus, will be there to welcome in all the nations. It's going to be great. Thank you.